Didn't I tell you guys that Rachel Zegler is going to keep providing content for YouTubers over the next 2 years until her movie eventually comes out? Well, it looks like I wasn't wrong, because Rachel Zegler apparently just came out with something unbelievably stupid. I just, let's just get into it, man. We have an article here from Bounding Into Comics. It has a headline that reads, "After trashing animated original, live action Snow White star Rachel Zegler now claims that I love everything that Disney company has put out in the past 100 years. Yes, this is the same person. Oh my God, look at his face, man. This is a face that you could just tell she's going to ruin your life. But this is the same person, ladies and gentlemen, that literally trashed the animated movie of Snow White. She trashed it publicly in multiple different interviews, in multiple different scenarios. She trashed this film, and she trashed it nonstop. So for her to all of a sudden try to save face and turn around and do a 180 and say that she loves everything that Disney came out with over the last 100 years, you can't say that. After trashing the film nonstop, you then cannot turn around and say that. So let's get further into what she said, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button, man. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. It says, in a change of tune ostensibly inspired by the absolutely massive backlash from even general audiences against her own opinion, after having trashed and dismissed Disney's animated original, live-action Snow White star Rachel Zegler has now taken to claiming that she actually loves everything that the studio has released in the last century. Now, I don't know, a lot of people were saying on Twitter that this was basically Disney getting to Rachel Zegler. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think that, I guess if you want to tie in their PR team, right, like Rachel Zegler's PR team, then maybe, but I don't think it's Disney necessarily that came out and tried to tell Rachel Zegler, hey, cut it out. I just think overall she's trying to save her image, right? Like, she realizes that a lot of the backlash that she's getting is not going away. She probably thought if she just kept ignoring it, or if she just kept being passive aggressive about it, that it was eventually going to go away. And maybe she realized that, hey, it's not going away. It's not going away at all. There's YouTubers like myself that are making videos talking about what she's been saying, and it's definitely not going to go away, and it's not going to go away all the way up until the movie comes out. So that movie is going to bomb massively. I really do believe that, and I think she's probably realizing that she needs to try to save face with the normies at least. So she's going to try to put out this stuff that she knows the normies are going to read and watch and all that stuff, and hope to try to buy the fans back, essentially. It says the divisive star of The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, offered her updated take while speaking to fellow Disney actress Halle Bailey for Variety's Actors on Actors interview series. Following a discussion regarding their experiences in dealing with the criticisms leveled towards their respective castings as race-swapped incarnations of classic Disney princesses, Bailey eventually moved on to ask her colleague, "You are opening so many doors for your whole community as well. What has that felt like? Is it pressure?" In turn, Zegler replied by admitting that while she did indeed feel some pressure in the role regarding fan expectations, her biggest critic was in fact herself, due to her own apparent love for the House of Mouse's filmography, including the animated Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs film, which kickstarted the company's run as a titan of the animated entertainment all the way back in 1937. "The cartoon is so beloved," said the Shazam! Fury of the Gods actress to Bailey. "It was the first feature-length cartoon movie," she continued. "It won honorary Oscars, and all of these amazing things that happened for that film are the reason that you and I get to sit here today, because it made Disney what it is. Obviously, that comes with a lot of pressure that I put on myself. Much like Hunger Games, there's a very dedicated group of people who love Disney cartoons. I'm one of them. I love everything that Disney Co. has put out in the past 100 years. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, she went from calling it weird, she went from calling it stalkerish, she went from calling it all these different things of the original animated film, and now apparently she's trying to sit here and praise it and say that she wouldn't be here without that film existing, that she loves everything that Disney has come out with over the last 100 years. Does anybody believe this girl? I don't believe her for a second. I don't even think that she's watched half of the Disney films that's ever come out. I'm just being real with you guys. It just seems all too fake. You know what I mean? It seems all too pre-recorded sort of a thing. Like, it's obvious that she's having certain things she has to say in this interview, this actor-on-actor interview between her and Halle Bailey, and I'm sure Halle Bailey's under the same contractual obligation to mention certain things and try to play up certain narratives, and I guarantee you that Rachel Zegler does not care about the actual film at all of the original animated film. She's made that very clear in multiple different interviews, and I do not believe her for a second. It says, "So how do you put little baby Rachel at ease with what you're doing in your career? She then explained, of the questions, set expectations raised within her. How is it that you come to this role and make little Rachel proud? That was really what I used to fuel my emotion on that set, because all the pictures are out there of little me in my Snow White gown. Well, you put that out there because you were trying to prove something that you really just couldn't prove. You know what I mean? Like you put that out there saying that you couldn't, people can't see themselves in Snow White. Now that it's a racially diverse Snow White, people can finally see themselves. But you had no problem seeing yourself as Snow White when you were dressed up as a little girl as Snow White. So it's very clear that you had no problem doing that. As noted above, this declaration from ZEGLER represents a significant shift in her rhetoric towards Disney's animated Snow White, as prior to this meeting, the actress seemed to take every opportunity, which is true, she could to bury the film for failing to be acceptably progressive by current standards. And as a reminder, for those of you who may not know, this is what she said. So, interviewed by Extra following her casting as Snow White at the 2022 D23 event, ZEGLER proudly boasted the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with the guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know that that's what she said, yes, it is what she said. It's become a meme at this point. This whole weird thing is obviously a meme at this point. But yes, she did say that about the original film. And then it also says, asked if the film would still feature his signature prints in any way, shape, or form, the actress revealed, we have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Offering a quick bit of praise to her aforementioned co-star, Andrew Burnap, great dude, ZEGLER then continued, is one of those things that I think everybody's going to have their assumptions about what it's going to actually be, but it's not really about the love story at all, which is really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024, now 2025, by the way. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. I mean, again, every time we repeat these things, it's very clear that Rachel ZEGLER is such a narcissist. And to be clear, she was in an interview where she calls herself a narcissist. So it's not like I'm just calling her a narcissist just to say it. She's called herself a narcissist, and it's very obvious that that's what she is. She's saying things like this because she knows that she's in the spotlight right now. She knows that no matter what she does, no matter what she says, Disney's going to love that diversity, and they're going to keep her around no matter what. They're not going to fire her. They're going to keep her around. They can't fire her at this point, so she knows that she's safe. So she's going to say all this nonsense, but at the end of the day, it's very clear that Rachel ZEGLER does not care for the original animated film, and the fact that she says that, oh, it's not going to be a love story at all, which is really wonderful. What? Like, why would that be wonderful? I mean, why do these people, these guys are so miserable within themselves, it's ridiculous. Any sort of positivity, like a love story or anything that even screams remotely heterosexual, drives them absolutely insane. They like to say that, oh, all the right-wingers are snowflakes because they hate all the woke stuff going on right now, and they hate all the LGBTQ stuff. But you guys are the same way, man. All these people who are obviously leftists, they all completely hate the absolute heterosexual normativity of anything. It drives them insane. So Rachel ZEGLER has said yet more nonsense, ladies and gentlemen, and I guarantee you, as I said in my last video, that she will continue to say more nonsense as time goes on. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.